All right, well, welcome to episode 8 of Winning Time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jeremy Boudinet, operating out of Dallas, Texas. That's Brian Trautschold. He's out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, the gig city.
I literally look forward to this. I got some flack just from my incessant fawning over startup and SaaS leaders last episode, but
Yes.
Look, that was dope. That was a fun format. It was fun to go through some cool stories, and I'm looking forward to a new gimmick. Gimmick is negative, but I'm gonna use the word gimmick as like you keep coming up with these little gadgets, and they always end up being pretty good.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I had a lot of fun last week with that one. And I feel like people enjoyed it. We got a lot of commenters on LinkedIn arguing, with us and stuff like that. So that's always fun to hear people weighing in. So if you have thoughts on an episode, get on our YouTube. We're everywhere, Spotify, etc. Or post it on LinkedIn. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, we're happy to argue with people on the internet and tell you why you're incorrect.
Yeah, I do love arguing with people on the internet. It's a major character flaw. Well, cool. Well, let's jump in. BT, so I'm gonna set the table for this week's episode. It's August, and for a lot of people in the world, that means it's fantasy football season. This is the time. Drafts are heating up. I've already got one going. I'm in a slow auction draft. It's going to take like 6 weeks to take place.
6 weeks?
Yeah,
what?
It's a slow auction draft, all online. We're bidding on players, etc. You and I will be together in Salt Lake City in, I think, 5 weeks drafting for our fantasy league. So it's that time of year. It's a great time.
I didn't even realize that. I think technically, based on my watch, we're 35 days away from being in Silicon Slopes.
The Silicon Slopes together. So, with fantasy football being top of mind, I thought what greater way to discuss a topic we love, which is founders, startups, etc., operators, elite people who are doing exciting things, than by having a draft, if you will.
I see.
Putting together our best 8 startup leaders for a fledgling startup company. So I've got picks, you've got picks, and I'm ready to go through this, man. We're going to do a snake draft. I'm going to go, then you're going to go. I've created a few rules. Yeah. I've created a few rules for the draft here. So obviously there's like things to consider. Number 1, the person has to be alive. So it can't be like one of the guys who founded, I don't know, Fairchild Semiconductor. Number 2, they can't be in jail. I feel like that's an important note. So, sorry, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yep. Sorry.
Yep. All right. Number 3, we're drafting them in their current state in the year of our Lord 2026. So, like, you can't draft 70s Steve Wozniak.
I like this.
Sorry.
That's a nice little wrinkle. That takes a lot of kind of like OGs out of the mix.
It does. So, we're really thinking about, we're starting a company in 2026 with people as they currently stand. Who are we getting? And then the type of startup's up to you. It could be SaaS, BT. It could be fintech. It could be e-commerce. There's a bunch of different options here. So I had a lot of fun thinking about this. And then I went through there's a couple people at BT. I just want to go ahead and say that I'm not picking off the bat. I'm going to call them out real quick.
Wait. You're like, are you banning these people from being able to be picked?
I'm not, but I'm just calling them out because I feel like if we're discussing some great people, there's a couple people worth discussing as not being worthy.
These are like preemptive honorable mentions.
Preemptive, like negative honorable mentions, like people they're getting cut from the league, basically. SBF, sorry, not making the team, even though he actually made some kind of great moves, genius moves as CEO, but unfortunately you can't go to jail for illegal activities at my startup. It's not a good look.
Elizabeth Holmes starting. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Elizabeth Holmes, same thing. So you can't create a fake product, no matter how good you are at selling that fake product, and be a part of my team. Number 3, the former CEO of Ubiquitous, I won't name them, who torpedoed the company and cost me $18,000. Not on my list. And then number 4, a bit of current events one, the CEO of Airtable, not making my list. I don't know their names, but obviously
They were
some rough
grinding,
times
dude.
there.
They were grinding for a long time. We've been doing, as things have been kind of heating up in the, I don't know, the graveyard of SaaS or whatever, we've been doing like a we're back thing, the last couple of weeks, and that deal happened and we're not back. We're no longer back. Thanks, guys.
We're so back to it's so over.
It's so over.
It's swung again. So Airtable going down in flames. I've used their product. I have enjoyed using their product in the past. I've also seen it used very improperly as a CRM at one company I was at. And I was like, we got to get off this thing. We got to switch to HubSpot or something that's actually meant for this. So shouts out to Airtable, no one from that team made the list. So BT, let's jump in, buddy. I'm ready to go. Are you feeling good?
Let me do one point of clarity because I'm excited
Sure.
about this, and I have a feeling you have thought more strategically about this than me, but here's a question. If you pick someone in this snake draft, can I also pick them?
No. You're going to have to. They're off the board.
What? You can see my notes.
I can. So I'm actually screwed here because I think you've got someone you're picking before me. So that's fine. I'm going to do a quick zag.
Okay, so for the audience, I didn't realize, I knew we were drafting. I didn't realize we were doing it snake style. So yes. We're going to have to zig and zag a little bit as we go. Don't trust what you see on the notes because now I'm going to do other stuff just to mess with you. trying to ruin your squad.
I think, yes. So, I mean, this is just like a real draft, buddy. Like if someone's off the board, they're off the board. You're going to have to, wheel and deal here. And then I think at the end of this BT, we need to decide who won the draft. So that will be an important decision.
Well, we have no idea how this is going to go. You think what you know. You're like any of our dear friends with the, as we fly across the country and you're whittling away on your spreadsheet. And then the first sign of contact with the enemy, all those plans go out the window.
Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. It's how it works. All right, so how do we decide who goes first? We can do I could pick a number and you can try to guess it. I'm trying to think.
What I think this is your show, and I think you deserve the honor of going first because you set up what I think will be a pretty fun segment.
Okay, thank you. I'll take that. So, all right, I'll be picking first here. So, all right, so my team pick 1-1 coming off the board. I'm going for, if I'm drafting a startup here, I'm creating a startup from scratch. I'm starting off with the CEO, obviously. And I'm picking a guy that we both know and love, BT. You really know him. He was your roommate at Y Combinator. And that would be Ryan Peterson, the CEO of Flexport, a guy who built a super successful company, I think is pretty universally renowned and beloved. Great person to follow on social media, great commentator, and also great operator and, CEO. Flexport doing great work, massive. Thoughts on that first pick, BT?
I'm going to reserve the hate for a pick later. But I love that pick. Great Val out of the gate from a draft standpoint. Just an all-time great person. What he's done with Flexport is insanely impressive from seeing him and his dog at our house during YC 12 years ago. Yeah, that's a good start. He's a great leader. He's a great visionary, and I don't think you're gonna regret that. I do have thoughts about early on draft structure. You going for the CEO first. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But
it might be a little questionable because you might want to go for an engineer first, right? But I went.
One could argue. I don't know. With the next pick, I don't know.
All right, so BT, let's go to your first pick. This is pick 1-2 in the draft.
Okay, I'm doing research right now. I'm doing research on the side. This is actually how drafts work.
This really is. Are you looking at stats? You're like, oh man, how much revenue did they do in fiscal year 25?
I think I'm going to go. I'm not going to take the total homer pick, but I'm going to do a homer pick, which is founding CTO in this case, current ambition, CTO Wes Kendall also was the previous Ambitions CTO. Wes and I have worked together on a couple projects across multiple years, and in a time which is right now. And we're not talking about like what the product is, what the thing is, but like he's I think really built for the moment of AI. Extremely fast, prototype extremely fast, and he's an easy technical partner to work with, which is I think very important for those out there who are considering starting a company in real life, not just drafting people they want to be on paper.
Yeah, and I'll say this about Kendall. People might call that a homer pick, but I've worked at 4 companies. 3 of them achieved at least 9-figure valuations. One of them achieved 10, like is a unicorn. And Wes Kendall is like by far the best engineer I've ever worked with, like in any company. I've worked some very talented ones, but he is unbelievable. So I think that's a great pick, and he's proven, he can take you from 0 to 1 really fast, right, BT?
I'm doing that. First of all, absolutely. But I'm doing this exactly like I do real drafts, where I write down, I start filling in the roster as I'm doing it. I just give myself a 5 out of 5 on that pick.
Very pleased with your first pick.
He loves it. He loves what he's got.
Yeah. All right, so we're going snakes. So you get to pick next. Actually, man, you're back. So this is your second round pick.
Well, so when you're in a snake situation, for the novices out there, and you just had a great pick, you can go wild with the next pick. you can like go weird, and I'm gonna go weird, and unfortunately, I'm gonna block you again with
what?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know there's only 2 of us. It's hard to know what's about to happen. But, putting a lot of current events aside, putting a lot of the news cycle aside, I'm going Peter Thiel. I'm going
Fair.
Lord of the Rings Mafia, aka PayPal Mafia. For those who are not familiar, basically every company post PayPal that I think Peter Thiel's been a part of has some type of like Lord of the Rings name. Palantir, Anduril. So that probably comes with a package of turning, setting up a name for this company, which I'm going to name Balrog, which is like the fire demon in Lord of the Rings.
You're naming your company Balrog.
I think Peter's probably like a non-operational role for us, but he's kind of like chair of the board, or maybe he's like he's like head of our government lobby arm at Balrog.
I love it. So you're definitely going to be selling whatever you're selling to the government at some point here. It sounds like at Balrog, your burgeoning startup. So I love it, buddy. You've taken two guys off my list already. So
yeah, you shouldn't have sent me the list ahead of time.
That was
inspirational.
Seriously, I that's what I get for playing fair here. So, all right, that's fine though. I'm not worried about it. I've got some moves to make. I also got to figure out my team name now that you've come up with Balrog.
Yeah,
for your team name.
Yeah, first shot.
Kind of jealous. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat that. All right, so my second pick, I'm going back to another guy I know extremely well. I think maybe the most slept on, one of the most slept on executives in SaaS, or he's actually in UCaaS technically, I guess, in the country. He's the CMO of the largest privately held company in Arizona. He was the 13th employee there in 2008 after he dropped out of UCLA to join it, and he's been the CMO since day one and has really spearheaded to where it's reached, which is a massive unicorn SaaS valuation. They're crushing it. And when I was there, I will say this was like coming with over 1,000 employees, and everyone knew that this guy was like the guy at the company, and that the marketing department at this company was like the tip of the spear for the company, which is Nextiva. And so I'm going with CMO Yaniv Masjedi, just a linchpin cornerstone guy, a guy who sets the culture. He's going to make your marketing department elite immediately out of the gate, and just a great guy to work with too and work for. So that's my pick, BT. We need some growth. I need massive growth in my company. So I'm going with Yaniv.
It's interesting how we're structuring this, and I'll try to speed us along, but you're going CEO, CMO. You're all tip of the spear, market facing, and I'm going technical, and I'm going government leverage. Just out of the gate.
You are. I like it. Actually, these are two very different approaches.
Okay, so you're back up, right?
I'm back up. Sorry, I'm gonna head back to the technical side now, though. I am gonna start going this way. I went a little bit of an unusual pick here. I went with the CTO of Replit, which is one of the leading companies in all things vibe coding. I like where they're at. They're on the cutting edge of engineering. I picked the founding guy who's like the main engineer there. So I went with Luis Hector Chavez as my CTO. I like the fact that he's on the forefront of, I think, where engineering is going. He's got to know it better than anyone. I could have picked someone from like Anthropic or OpenAI for this, but I decided to go with Replit. So, Luis, you're my third pick, buddy. So, welcome to the team.
Shout out to Luis. Look, I'm going to follow your lead here as I hit my third round pick. Different reasons, different logic. But I'm still building out my backfield here. I'm building out my backfield. I'm building out my offensive core. And I'm going to pick a person who a lot of folks may know from X. He goes by Levels.io on X. Pieter Levels. He's a hacker. He's really really active, putting up different, especially like kind of small, individually run SaaS projects that are revenue producing out of the gate. And I think he does a really, he's kind of like the de facto, company of one, and he's engineering products on the fly all the time. He's putting them out there in front of people. He's iterating. Seems like, I don't know him personally, but he seems like, per his Twitter presence, a relatively fun dude. And I'm trying to build a culture at Balrog.
I like it. I follow Levels.io on Twitter. It's funny because I never knew his real name, so I respect that. Respect that pick. All right, BT, you're back up, man. Who do you got? Who do you got next?
I'm gonna finish out what I'm calling my offense. The offense is the product development and the engineering, and that's going to be Peter Steinberger, who famously recently launched OpenClaw. I think OpenClaw took the entire internet by storm a handful of months ago, before I think ultimately joining OpenAI, right?
I think so. Yeah.
OpenClaw is a project he built, which really allowed you to kind of decentralize how you are interacting with LLMs. And Peter has done a bunch of really great interviews for anyone out there. I would highly encourage you to listen to interview on the Lex Fridman podcast. He's just an easy listen from a really technical, clearly really smart engineering perspective. But yeah, I think with those three, with Wes, Levels, and Peter, you're toast. Your team is fucked.
That is a really good technical founding team, which scares the shit out of me. So, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stay with my customer facing focus here. Cause I don't care. I want guys who could sell anything. I want guys who could sell, snow cone to an Eskimo, if you will. So I'm going with CRO as my next choice. Chris Degnan, who was the OG CRO and sales leader for a little company called Snowflake, which you may remember had the best IPO in SaaS history. I've watched interviews with this guy. He seems super humble, super sharp. I like his whole vibe. I think it matches well with my rest of my team, which is like OG guys, down to earth, but just killers, So I'm going with Chris. I think he's going to work really well with Yaniv. I think he's going to work really well under Ryan. Whatever Luis builds us, we're going to be able to sell it, buddy. So just know that. It's going to be enterprise. I think we're going enterprise facing here too, is what I'm.
Are you? Do you know? You don't even have a name yet. We had a name in the first round.
I will have a name by the end of the draft. I promise that. I'm thinking the wheels are turning here. So,
all right. I like it.
Yeah. And all right. So for my next picks, I get to pick again. You stole this pick from me. This pick was going to be Wes Kendall as my founding engineer.
I went early. Tight ends were going early.
Tight ends were going early. It was a run on founding engineers. So that's fine. I stole the premise of your technical pick, I just went and looked up who founded Claude Code or who built Claude Code. And Boris Cherny.
He's good too. He does good interviews.
Yes. So, like head of Claude Code, he was built by him. Anthropic. Before that, he was the principal software engineer at Meta and led front end and server architecture systems. This is a guy you want. He looks like he's all business. I like his vibe. I'm excited. I think him plus Luis, it's going to be an elite crew. We're going to be vibe coding. We're going to be having AI build stuff. I think we're right there with you. So I'm not worried.
You've got the way that we're talking about how these people have to interact in this fantasy situation is the most unhinged thing we've done yet. the most unhinged thing we've done. No, that's a good counter pick. That's a good counter to what I've been doing there. Okay, so I built a technical base. I've got my tentacles with Thiel. I've got 3 Peters, which is a low key strategy that I've done. All right, so I need to start changing the vibe. I need to start getting to your point in front of people and be able to tell a story. And I'm going with one of the greatest storytellers of our time. And it's not Jason Lemkin. It's not someone who you might think. It's actually Marshawn Lynch, who is an absolute outstanding spokesperson, outstanding voice of the brand, man among the people, Marshawn Lynch.
Okay. I didn't see that one coming.
Title to be withheld.
What is Marshawn
player?
What is Marshawn going to be doing at this company? What's his? Is he just a brand spokesperson?
Every day you're videoing him while he's watching people do like demos of the engineering team, and he's just reacting. He's just reacting with being astounded about what is capable of doing. He's meeting with government officials. He's going to dinner, all of it. He's doing all that stuff.
I respect this move because you're basically just going for pure fame. Like I just want someone that people are going to listen to and pay attention to. It's like hiring Mr. Beast to be on your team.
A cool version of Mr. Beast. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Beast mode, if you will.
Yeah, beast mode, exactly.
I picture Peter Thiel and Marshawn Lynch walking the Department of Defense together and just
and you know a deal's getting done. You know it's getting done.
I love it, man. Where's your company gonna be based, by the way? Because I feel like you could do a Seattle play here with Marshawn.
Well, I feel like some of those guys aren't going back. Like is Peter Thiel going back to California? Is he still in Texas? I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. He doesn't necessarily have to be in the office. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll figure out a domicile by the end of this, but I'll go ahead and do I'm back up, right? Next round.
Right. You are.
To keep it going on tilt, I'm going to hire someone who you did not see coming. And that's finance leader Martin Shkreli, who's going to just keep us once again.
I love this pick. I can't lie. Oh, man, I thought about him.
Once again, a person that you have to listen to. You have to engage with. He does, honestly, to give him a huge shout out. He's probably a fan of our program, I'm sure. But he does a fantastic job with his YouTube posts about just like walking through situations. You can tell he would be able to razzle dazzle some results out of whatever we're doing and probably put us in situations that are optimal from a financial standpoint and, potentially risky from a legal and regulatory standing. But, you just have to finesse that. You finesse that. And, Marshawn, Peter Thiel, they'll help get us through whatever type of legalese we've got to work with. But yeah, we're going Shkreli. He seems like a cool dude. His past is behind him. I think he's better for it. And we're on to a new day.
I love Shkreli. I think he's one of the most fascinating people to watch in terms of his interviews. I remember they interviewed him. I think Vice did an interview with him when he was being notorious for his pricing practices. And he actually really, I thought, acquitted himself really well during the interview. I liked him a lot more than I liked the interviewer. So
he comes across as extremely, I think, and this is just an aside for anyone, no matter how smart you think you are or that you are, if you're really good at unpacking and kind of demystifying complex topics so that anyone who's not an expert in the field can engage and understand and feels like they're, able to follow along and able to grok the concept. You're really, really smart. And like, that's the thing that guy, Martin Shkreli, does extremely well via YouTube, which leads me to believe he would be excellent.
I think it would be. And I do love, you're going for like the villainous persona here. You've got Thiel, you've got Marshawn, you've got Shkreli.
Balrog, baby.
Balrog. Like this is a gangster company. This company is not, they don't care. They're going to like flirt with the line.
The mission statement is about making money.
Yes. Win at all costs. It's a company that knows how to do that. So I respect that. I'm a little bit, that might put you over me slightly, unfortunately, that pick. All right, so it's back to me, right?
You're up 2 in a row.
Okay. I went with so for my next pick, this is someone who I don't really think has SaaS experience, but that doesn't matter because this is more of a clout pick, BT. I need someone who, when they come on board, the world's taking notice. And that person for me is COO Cheryl Sandberg, famously of Meta, kind of a just celebrity of the business world in her own right. I want someone who's going to come in here and like just draw eyeballs, and someone who's got like a really strong force of personality. I think she's the person for that on this team. I think she can be a mouthpiece for the company. She's a spokesperson. She adds clout. She adds connections. This is a I think a smart pick for me. I'm not sure how much, operating, wisdom she's going to provide for a SaaS company versus what she's doing at Meta. But at the same time, I think she's going to bring a lot of value in some other places. So maybe she's not COO. Maybe she's more like chief evangelist or something like that. But she's on my team.
I think she would crush. I think that's a capable person. Your team, your team is just a bunch of capable people who excel and have excelled. And I don't know you can handle the chaos that we're going to bring, the chaos that we're about to unleash.
You guys are doing like corporate espionage and stuff. I feel like that's going to be your X factor and like shady backroom deals. My company's over here like trying to build it the right way. I like it. All right. So next I'm going with a founding sales rep, and I'm going with the guy who's way overqualified for this role, but I don't care. He's going to come in and crush it and eventually ascend to VP and possibly CRO if Chris Degnan doesn't work out. But that would be Sam Blond, who, now currently I think the founder of Monocle, previously VP of sales at Zenefits, famously scaled them, famously scaled a couple other companies too. But just a known killer in the SaaS space, a known like come in here and absolutely murder it, has never failed wherever he's been. He's CRO at Brex. He's just a winner. Just a winner. Yeah. I need guys who are winners. Like all my guys are winners. They don't know how to lose. They're gonna dominate. So that's why I'm drafting Sam. Great personality, big name. You gotta love him. So that's my guy, BT.
He is only one, and he's only been at winner. So I think that's a good pick. That's another strong value pick.
And also, notoriously at Zenefits, they were doing some sketchy practices back in the day. So maybe giving my team a little bit of that sketchy edge that your team has. Sam knows how to ruthlessly compete. So
I think he gets shit done.
He does.
Is that your 8th pick? Is that your 8th and final pick?
That's my 7th pick. I think I picked very last here. So we're back to you.
I go back-to-back final picks.
Yes.
So I have...
Yes.
I built it from the ground up. I've got lead engineer. I've got 2 amazing AI engineers. I have the infamous, famous, influential Peter Thiel. I have Marshawn Lynch repping the brand, and I have Martin Shkreli making sure the books look good. At this point, I'm going all in on fun and band back together. Band back together. And I'm gonna give a Homer shout out to my guys. Because I'm not on the list, right?
No, you can't put yourself on the list.
All right, good. Well, then I'm going in no particular order. I'm going Jared Houghton, Travis Truitt, and I'm banded up. I mean, my guys still work with Jared. Travis Truitt no longer work with, but hey, We're going to get him back in. We're going to bring him back into the fold. We're going to get the crew back together. We're going to be based in Winchester, Tennessee. I decided while I was thinking, a town that no one has heard of, but is ready for a multi-billion-dollar government contractor software company. And yeah, I'm rolling with the bro.
I love it. Great pick. Get the band back together. I'm here for it, man. So Winchester, Tennessee, is that where the Winchester Rifle Company was founded, or is that somewhere else?
You know what? I actually don't know the facts of that, but I was there recently, and it was just a charming little downtown. And
yes,
somehow just pop back in.
I love it. Okay.
No state income tax for Marshawn and others, but especially for Marshawn.
And it's good that you're there because, like, you can't have distractions for Marshawn or Martin or.
Well, this is a long-standing take. Is that everyone who's going to these hotbeds of innovation or finance, it's a lot of people just hanging out, going to happy hours, going to Barry's boot camp in the morning. We don't have any of that. We're locked in. We're focused. We're just executing.
Yes, I love it. All right, well then for my final pick, I did originally have Peter Thiel. We're bouncing away from that. I'm going to reunite Sam Blond with this gentleman here. This is, of course, the OG SaaS VC, Jason Lemkin, another great Twitter follow, a guy who's shouted on this podcast multiple times. Is the guy who actually installed Sam Blond at Zenefits because he was the VP of sales at EchoSign, which Jason was the CEO of. A loud guy, a big mouthpiece, big personality. He's going to hype this company. He might try to replace all my people with AI, which is probably the only problem. But maybe not. Maybe he'll keep these elite players around. We'll figure out how to not hire anybody. Just have the rest of the people be agents. So I'm going with Jason for this. And then I'm trying to think of where I'm going to put this company. I kind of want to put it like somewhere rough. I might base it out of Memphis, Tennessee, just because it's like
Tennessee companies just competing, just putting the state on the map.
What's going to happen is this company is going to be based out of Memphis. It's going to have a gritty sort of vibe to it. It's going to embody the grit and grind, blue collar ethos of Memphis, but it's going to have all this intellectual firepower just going on. It's going to single-handedly resurrect the city because it's going to hit $1 billion val by 2030. So that's the move, man. And then team name or company name, I'm going to go with, should I call it? Let me think. I think I'm going to go with body.ai after Body by Boudinet. So body.ai. So
we're so far off the deep end right now, but body.ai is good. It's honestly, it works.
The ad campaigns are going to be just like swimsuit models and like gym bros in tank tops.
They're like talking about how you need body.ai, but it doesn't tell you anything about what it does. It's just completely like non sequitur. It's like a perfume ad.
It
doesn't tell you anything.
It's going to look like an ad for like Aqua di Gio or something like that.
Just says the name and then zooms in past a girl. There's no other context.
We're gonna do a $10 million brand TV campaign around this to launch the product. It's gonna be electric. So
yeah, I can't wait to send all my folks notes real quick to invite them to Winchester to let them know.
And I think Balrog and Body are gonna have a huge intrastate rivalry to be the big guns out of Tennessee, if I had to guess.
The Highway 64 rivalry. Yeah, I this makes sense. I'm going to give you credit here because this was a format that only you could have come up with, and it somehow worked way better than I thought it was going to work.
I knew this was going to be awesome. I knew it was going to be fun. All right, so BT, final thing we have to do now is we have to pick whose team wins in this case. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to concede that I think your team is taking it home. I think there's going to be all kinds of shady extracurricular stuff. You're going to have $1 billion Defense Department contract in year one. You're probably going to have every football team buying whatever you're selling in year one, thanks to Marshawn. Shkreli's going to do some really insane pricing stuff that's like borderline illegal. That's going to, push you guys over the top. So I'm prepared to concede to you. I do think here's what happens. You guys, first 5 years, it's y'all. But then there's things go a little too far. There's indictments.
We had you in the first half, and then
you had me in the first half, and then the indictments start coming. Next thing you know, there's
don't cast doubt upon these fine people who I'm just pulling off the internet. Disparage their characters. Look, yours is a crew of serious people, actual serious people. Mine has also some serious people, but also maybe some more influencer style people. And I think it's the tale of it's styles make fights. It's styles make fights. And look, I don't want to go up against the group that you have, but hey, if there's anyone I got to go to war with, it's Wes, the Peters, and my guys.
I love it. All right, so to recap, on team body.ai, we have CEO Ryan Peterson, CMO Yaniv Masjedi, CTO Luis Hector Chavez, CRO Chris Degnan, founding engineer Boris Cherny, COO Cheryl Sandberg, founding AE Sam Blond, advisor Jason Lemkin. BT, you want to remind us who you picked again?
CTO Wes Kendall, head of lobbying Peter Thiel. Engineer Levels, engineer Peter Steinberger, brand advocate, chief evangelist Marshawn Lynch, CFO Martin Shkreli. I'd probably go with chief revenue officer Jared Houghton and chief product officer Travis Truitt.
All right, it's an elite squad, man. Well, great stuff, BT. Shout out to everyone who watched this episode of Winning Time. Let us know who you'd be drafting in the comments. We'd love to hear it. So, BT, any final words?
If you made it through, huge props, because we barely made it through. That was a roller coaster. Probably one of the more fun episodes we've done since we were hating on tier 3 and tier 2 American cities. But this was an all timer. Shout out to everyone out there winning. Go get it. Peace out.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week on Winning Time.